doorstep to share this thing with me. And, and I got pretty excited about it. I mean, we wanted to travel more. I hadn't really been anywhere my whole life until I got into this thing. So we were really looking to go, just have some more fun and have some cool peak experiences. And then, financially, so there's two pieces of it, but on the financial side of stuff, I had a lot of buddies that were getting out of school with lots of debt and moving back home because they couldn't find jobs and were just, not getting what they thought they were going to get. And so I was looking for something without really knowing I was looking for something, if that makes sense. And so when my buddy shared this with me, it just kind of lined up perfectly because if it's something that you want to build, it's something that you can do part-time on the side of your job, career, kids, school, whatever, all of the above, and still be effective at it and really create a cool, if not a supplemental income or just a nice lifestyle in general. So I've been really fortunate to, I've just been in it for a little bit longer than some people, but it's been just lights out unbelievable for us. So I'm going to jump right into this thing for you guys. And as far as what we do, the company's name is Roybal. So we're based in Dallas. We actually have home offices on several continents right now, but got a nice big 100,000 square foot place down in Dallas. We're actually in the world of network marketing. We're actually the only travel company in the top 100. So we're kind of in a league of our own. And we did just shy of $1 billion in revenue last year. So we are rocking and rolling. This is not a small thing. And we are actually the biggest private travel club on earth right now. We've got well over 1 million members that have joined the club with us. And so we're the biggest, we're the baddest. And, but we're still the best kept secret because, we don't do any traditional advertising. You're not going to see us on TV, radio, newspaper. It's all built person to person. And so you only get to see it when you get invited, like you guys are tonight. So, as big as we are, we're still the best kept secret. And so as much as travel is our core, I do want to share this with you guys real quick because this is kind of the buzz factor right now. It's this FLYE card device. And I know on the computer screen, it looks like a credit card or a debit card, but it's actually a little computer the size of your credit card and debit card. And I've actually got one of the real ones right here. So hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm going to try to do this backwards. But it's really cool because on the screen, you've got the chip, you've got the swipe thing on the back. It'll be tapped. So it'll be compatible with all forms of payment. And then on the right side, this little box, it's actually a computer screen with some buttons underneath it. And so when I go to turn it on, this cool little green light magic starts to happen and it turns the card on. And then I can scroll. So basically you can load anything. Let me type in my PIN. You can load anything with a mag strip on it, debit cards, credit cards, loyalty cards, any of the above. And it'll pull up your, whatever you have that's loaded on there. So I can just swipe through the cards that I want to use. So like that was my Southwest card. This is my Amex. This is my, my Chase Sapphire card. And then when I'm ready to pay with it, I just hold the button until the little green light starts to flash and then it's ready to pay with. So I'm sharing all that to say is for two reasons. A, we're pre-launching this card right now. So when we roll this out sometime in the summer or fall, it's actually going to be the first smart card in the world like it. So we're going to be first to market with something like this, which is got a whole bag of opportunity in and of itself, but it also ties right together. It ties, our membership together nicely as far as this ecosystem that we're building, which I'll show you here in a second. So speaking of ecosystems, we've really modeled our membership just based on kind of like an Apple ecosystem. When you look at Apple, that's really all they are. I mean, they don't just sell computers, but they came out with iPods, which is music devices, and they've got watches, phones, Apple TV. I mean, virtually everything. And so typically when you get one Apple product, you end up getting sucked into everything and you get everything Apple just because, Apple products sync better together. And there's just a lot of value that gets left on the table if you have, an iPhone and then a Windows computer. So most people that have Apple just stay Apple. Once you go Apple, you kind of never go back kind of a deal. And so that's just how they've built their ecosystem. And it's just cool how it's all played out because when they started selling computers, they were a really small fish in a big pond. And they didn't really start crushing it until they came out with their iPhone, which was like their silver bullet because while not everybody had computers, everybody did have a phone in their pocket. They just came out with the first smart version of that, which was the iPhone. And then boom, iPhone, sales exploded. And then as a result, when it came time for those people to buy computers, people that had an iPhone just made more sense to get a Mac. And so they ended up not only selling the most phones in the world, but they became the biggest seller of computers in the world as well. And so they kind of got them on both ends. And then now they're one of the biggest brands in the world. And so that's really how we've developed our membership. So our Max, so to speak, is just our DreamTrips membership. So that is our core product. And our DreamTrips membership is it's a big travel club at its core. So these trips that we put together, these DreamTrips, are all going to be 4- and 5-star and above, decked out, unbelievable experience vacations, but you're going to get them at a 2- and 3-star wholesale price. And as a member, you just have access to all of the DreamTrips that we put together. And we did just about 10,000 of them last year. So there's a ton of them, from cruises, all-inclusive, domestic stuff, weekend getaways, international trips, 2-week long trips, you know, hunting, fishing, sporting events, volunteer trips. And so we have the whole gamut of trips, absolutely. And the company puts them together in a nice little box for you. So you don't have to package or do anything yourself. You just go on the website, you look at all of the DreamTrips inventory. You can see some of them 6-12 months out. So it allows a lot of time for planning. And then you just find one that's cool, you book it, and then you show up. But they have this whole thing tied together with a nice bow for you. And it's just, and they have lots of whistles and bells as well. And it's a family membership. So it includes everybody in the household, or you can take a guest at the same price you get the trips at. So some of the high points are, first off, the price. Again, we're a membership model versus a margin model. So, you know, think, you know, like if you go buy a bottle of water at the gas station, you know, it'll be $1.20, $1.30. You're going to pay retail big time. But if you go buy a bottle of water at Costco or Sam's Club, you know, you're going to get a bottle of water for 13 cents, but you're going to get a whole case of 30 of them. All right. So per unit, it was a lot cheaper just to buy in bulk and buy in a lot of volume. And so that's exactly what I do with what we do with our membership is we have the ability to go buy in a lot of bulk and a lot of volume, which drives the price down so that when you book one of our vacations, you're getting wholesale and you're not going to the gas station and paying retail for a bottle of water, okay? And we have a nice promise within our membership that if you book one of our trips and you find a cheaper price anywhere else within a week of booking it, then they actually just send you on the trip for free and you get all your money back. So the price is always going to be a slam dunk. The experience is what we're really good at. So all the whistles and bells and flair from, you know, a lot of times they have transfers to and from the airport lined up for you. We have our own hosts that concierge the trip that are on site for you, that just they can set anything up that you want, and it's just very high touch at the same time. And you know, they throw in gift cards, resort credit, extra excursions, little pillow gifts when you get there. So just a lot of extra stuff just to, you know, just to make it valuable so you have something to talk about. And then the third thing is our no-brainer part of it, which is our reward program. And so there's 3 different levels of the membership that you can start with. There's basic, gold, or platinum. So it's nice because anybody can get started no matter what your lifestyle is based on your current budget. So it's easy to get plugged in. But every dollar that you spend on the membership and the dues goes into what's called your DreamTrips account, and it turns into what's called DreamTrip points. And 1 DreamTrip point is equal to $1 in value. So your upfront fee, you actually get all of that back in points immediately. And so you've got the cost of the dream trip, okay? And that's going to be a killer deal as it is. And then you have the ability to apply a certain amount of your points towards any of our dream trips. And so you're shaving the cost down even more. So virtually you're getting all of the money that you're spending back to just turn around and funnel into a vacation, which is just so awesome. And here's the flavor of some of the ones that we have. I mean, this is a cruise. 5 days or 6 days, 5 nights rather. Cruises are awesome. If you've ever been on a cruise before, it's like a floating buffet. So you just kind of eat the whole time that you're there, but you get your money's worth the first hour that you're on the ship. But you get 6 days there, it includes all your port fees, all your taxes, and it's only $249 a person, which slam dunk of a deal. And then for 2 people, it's, you know, $498. And then you have the ability on the medallion to apply 100 points towards that cost, bring it down to $398. So just a, you know, a killer deal right there. They got Vegas trips. They have a lot of these little weekend getaways that are designed for our new members called Welcome Dream Trips, where in your first 90 days, you don't have to go on it in 90 days. You just have to book it. It can be 6 months out, but they drive the price down even more. Like this one's a 3-nighter in Vegas. You get a helicopter tour of the city. You get dinner included and daily breakfast, and the entire thing for 4 days and 3 nights is only $279 a person. If you guys have ever been to Vegas, you understand Vegas is not a cheap place to go, much less eat at. And they just, you know, again, all that stuff put together saves you a bunch of money. And then this one I actually just got back from a couple of months ago. It's called the Roybal. It's in Nuevo Vallarta, and it's a all-inclusive resort. It's a 4-diamond property. It was actually rated the TripAdvisor the number 2 rated all-inclusive in the world. So I mean, this place is crazy awesome. I mean, they got, you know, when we got to the airport, we had somebody waiting to pick us up. So we had transfers to and from. When we got to the resort, we were already pre-checked into our room. They just took us to a little area where we got greeted with cocktails and margaritas. Had a nice big member reception the first night. That was like basically a little party. They included one of their excursions to one of their beaches. We had unlimited green fees for golf. Rooms at this place are 1,500 square foot villas. And so the place is enormous. And all you can eat, all you can drink, top shelf everything. Food's incredible. And we were there in the middle of December, which was high season for them. We went up to the desk just to ask what the nightly rate was, and it was about $1,600 a night to stay at this place. And we got the entire trip for my wife and myself for 5 days and 4 nights for only $1,300 total. Okay, so if you do the math, $1,600 a night times 4, that's about $6,400. And our entire trip, because we could use 200 points towards it as well, so it was barely $1,100 when it was all said and done. saved us over $5,000. So, I mean, you can imagine how long that pays for your membership for. I mean, that pays for years and years of a membership, and we do this trip all of the time. So that's just a flavor of some of the trips that we do. And so that's what we started the company with our membership, and we're killing it with that. We're putting in about 80,000 new members every month. And so we're on fire. And then we started building our ecosystem a couple of years ago, which really just gives our members more ways to earn points that they can use towards dream vacations. And so, you know, just by joining in the top left, you know, you're getting all of your money back in points to use towards trips. The monthly fees will rack up for the next 12 months. And then your anniversary date, all your monthly fees you'll get back at one time in the form of points to use towards a dream trip. When you enroll other people into the club, you also earn more points to use towards trips. Up in the top right, the shopping, we have an online mall that's got, I don't know, around 3,000 big box stores from Walmart, Home Depot, Best Buy, Apple, right? Like everything is on there. And it's the same online experience, but anything that you buy online, you're going to get a percentage back that you can use towards travel. And then our dining program, which is our most recent feature, which is where the FLYE card starts to come into the picture, is really awesome because on your app, you get a DreamTrips app that's like your member portal. But it actually, we have about 2,500 restaurants in the U.S. right now, and they add about 100 every single week that will populate on the app depending on where you're at in the country. And it'll show you all of our DreamTrips local partners. And so when you go dine at any of our places, like in Denver, for example, we have about 70 restaurants out here, and a lot of them are some of the most, you know, popular ones to go to. Anytime that you go dine at these places, you're going to earn anywhere from 20 to 50% of your bill back in points to use towards DreamTrips. And that's so cool because, I mean, do people eat out more or do people travel more? People eat out more. And so by eating out more, now they can earn points at all the same places they're eating out at anyway, and then turn around and go on a vacation sooner. So that's what this whole thing is built around, is just getting people on vacation sooner. And since it all runs through our app, what happened was it was just a little clunky. So when you go to a restaurant and you redeem your points, you gotta check in on the app when you get there. You gotta do a little QR code scanner that they have set up, type in the bill number, and then do a little screenshot of your bill. And it's easy, but it's not simple. And so there's just too many steps involved. And so we actually partnered up with a company called NXTD that does a lot of biometric security stuff with the government. And we had them, we became their largest shareholders, and we had them build this card for us, hence our FLYE card. And so what this card is going to do at its core is just replace the functionality of the app. And so now people will be able to use their FLYE card, and anywhere that they pay with it at any of our DreamTrips local partners, it's just going to track their points immediately. So you don't have to use the app anymore. As soon as you use the card, boom, your account gets hit with your DreamTrip points and you're good to go. So it's simple, it's scalable, it's just like anything else that we use loyalty-wise. And on top of that, your regular cards are still going to work like they normally do. So if you have frequent flyer miles or getting hotel points or whatever, you're still going to get those points, but you're also going to get DreamTrip points if you're at any of our places. And so when we roll this FLYE card out, it's just going to be like the iPhone, where it just ties up our ecosystem, and it just makes things so much easier and so much simpler. And as a result, when we start selling these, we're going to end up selling more memberships as well, which I'll share with you guys here in a second. But right now, the buzz is around this FLYE card. So we call it a FLYE card. It's really a smart card. It's got 3 little computer processors inside of it, which is pretty awesome, the amount of stuff that they can jam into these things. But this is what it looks like on your app. It all syncs to our app. So it's ultra secure, ultra convenient. I mean, you can load all your cards on there, so you can leave all your stuff at home and, just use this as your device now. And so just the convenience of not having a 3-inch thick wallet. And then the security is really the biggest thing, and that's kind of the wave that things are moving nowadays, is, just higher levels of security. So when we built this, it needed to be as good or better than anything else that's on the market. So just a couple of things to share with you guys. Just to get into it, you have to type in a PIN. When you do have your cards on there, you know what they are, but nobody else can go write down your digits because it only shows the last 4 digits on there. So nobody can just take it in the back if you're at a restaurant, write it all down, and then just compromise your information. We also just had this patent that got passed called the unpassword. It has to do with what's called dynamic pairing, where on the strip on the back, usually the mag strip is what holds all your information on a credit card or a debit card. So if people, like, literally, if you just have your card in your wallet or just in your pocket, somebody could just walk right by, swipe the outside of your jeans, and pull all your information off of your debit card. I mean, that stuff happens all of the time, and it's a big deal nowadays. And so it's the mag strip that's the problem. And so on our strip, it's not actually a mag strip. There's 2 antennas on either side that communicate with the processors. And so the dynamic pairing that I'm talking about, what happens is when this goes through the payment processor, there is a PIN code that gets communicated from the card to the processor to allow money to go through. And that PIN code changes every transaction. So there's literally nothing out there right now that can pull in. There's no information to pull off of it. It's just all through, you know, computer information. So, so that just got passed. And so again, long story short, ultra secure, super convenient, super smart. It's water resistant as well. I tested that out the other day. I put it in the hot wash machine when I was cleaning my clothes the other day on accident, and I found it in there, and I went and used it today at Starbucks, and it still works. So I'm happy to announce that it is water resistant, like they say it is. So, so that's how the card works right now. And really the buzz factor being, it's all about just how do we get one. You know, when I was at Starbucks today, for example, and I was using it, and the little green light starts to flash up, if it starts flashing up for me, people are just like, what in the world is that? You know, like, I've never seen something like that. Like, did your card just blink at me? Like, you know, tell me a little bit about it. So it just builds so much curiosity. I mean, I literally have people that just give me their business card saying, hey, get me in line when that thing comes out, because we tell them we're pre-launching it. We're beta testing it right now. And so the main question we get is, how do I get one? And so here's how you get one. Pretty simple. You can't just go buy one. You can't just go online and go find one. We're rolling this out strategically. And so we're really right now building up our phase of early adopters. And so as you go through this, I really want you to be thinking about, you know, do you see the advantage of getting positioned before we go live to the public with this? Because it's going to be a very big deal. And right now, if you have the chance to get one in your hands before everybody else, it's only going to give you a much more advantageous deal. And so just to get one, what's going to happen is getting FLYE qualified is what we call it. So when you get started with the membership and then you refer a member, all right, you are what's called FLYE qualified. And this promotion ends April 7th. So you got to get started with a membership, refer a member, and then in the springtime, so in the next 30, 60 days, they're going to allow the FLYE qualifiers to go buy theirs before the rest of the company and before we go live with it. So you can get one literally before everybody else does, which is the buzz right now, because there's just a lot of excitement around being a part of the early adopter crew. So I would encourage you to do that for sure. And we've got thousands of people that are doing that right now. So it's not a very, you know, it's a very simple thing to go knock out, and then just decide which membership that you want to get started with. So again, this is a high overview. I'm not going to get into all the details, but there are 3 levels of the membership. Just understand that 100% of what you spend, you're getting back in points to use towards a dream trip. So you're getting everything back to use towards our dream vacations. The silver package gives you access to the trips. The gold is the most popular one that gives you the full ecosystem. You get the trips, you get the online mall, you get a regular booking engine that you can go book any travel on. That's super competitive, and then you get credits back on that. We have a concierge service built into it, so just a lot of extra whistles and bells. That's $200 that you get back in points right away, and then $50 a month. And then platinum comes with some extra stuff like a doctor over the phone, roadside assistance, identity theft, and then some other flair as well. So just get in it where you fit in, you know, whatever fits your budget. You can always upgrade at any time. There's no contracts, there's no annual fees. We just want to get your account started, and then more importantly, get you FLYE qualified so that you can get one of these bad boys in your hand before we go live with it, because the people that have them in their hand are definitely rocking a lot of curiosity right now. So that's how the customer side of it works. So if you just want to be a customer all day long, you can do that. And, you know, just decide if you want to be a basic gold or a platinum member, and we'll get rolling from there. So before we transition to the other side, buddy, I want to turn it back over to you, man. And I know you had a couple of things you wanted to share.
Yeah, so the Q&A is already lighting up, Zoe, and we're just so you guys know, we're just about wrapped up here. We just have one more short segment, and then afterwards, what we're going to do is going to go right to a live Q&A. So we've got the lines pretty well jammed up, and we want to be respectful of your time. So once you're done with the total presentation, we'll take about maybe 10 to 14 minutes of Q&A. I know there's a lot of FLYE card questions. A lot of people that have maybe seen the presentation before, they've never seen what you just explained, Zoe. So that was like, I mean, my phone is like ding, 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 like it's hot. So I just wanted to launch one quick poll before we get into the final part here, which is my favorite part. So I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen right now. And there's 2 questions. Number 1 says, do you like the idea of being in the right place at the right time? Okay, do you like the idea of being in the right place at the right time? If you're a business person, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you just might like to be there anyway. So then the second question is, are you open to the idea of making $1 more in 2017 than you did in 2016? And I know sometimes, people are like, nah, I'm good. I like where I'm at. I like, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying everybody should want to make more money or, just be open-minded to new things. But we're just trying to get a sense of kind of who's on the webinar tonight and kind of who's who and what's what. So we'll give that another 3, 2, 1, and I'll go ahead and end the poll. So basically, Zoe, everyone's 100% yes. I like to be in the right place at the right time, and 100% people are open to the idea of making extra money. I think one of the main questions is, can I do it with my existing schedule? You know what I mean? That was kind of my big hang up when I got started with this idea. So with that, I'm just going to kick it back over to the man, and we'll keep cruising.
Cool. Thanks, bud. Yeah, so transitioning to the business side of this, which is totally optional, by the way. If you guys just want to be customers, you can do that all day long. And then if you see the opportunity, obviously you can get positioned, especially before we go live with this bad boy. But right now, as it stands, we get paid, like we sell the membership. That's how we get paid. So we get paid several ways on the membership. You know, we get direct commissions, we get, you know, we build a team around it. So we get overrides on the sales that happen on the team. And then once your customer base gets big enough, you get a residual income off the monthly dues that come in for the membership every month. So we get paid a lot of ways, and a lot of lucrative ways as well, which I'll share that part of the story here in a little bit. But going back to the FLYE card stuff, really it's just, you know, how can you take advantage of this, you know, financially? And I want to go back to the Apple situation and give you a couple of scenarios, because when Apple launched their iPhone, again, everybody had a phone at the time. They just rolled out the first smart version of it. I don't know if you remember when an iPhone came out, but I remember I was rocking. If you were really cool, you had a Razr flip phone. I had a little Nokia keyboard phone, and you know, you actually had to push buttons on it. So, you know, but it was the first smartphone, and so it just generated a lot of excitement, especially when people got to see it, feel it, touch it, and demo it. You know, that's really what built everything. So my question is to you guys, you know, who really sold iPhones? Was it Apple or was it early adopters? And you could really make a strong argument that it was really the early adopters, because Apple just had to sell early adopters, and they've got a crazy evangelist group of people that just stay in line till 3 in the morning to buy the next coolest gadget. And then it's really the early adopters that are out there selling it. And it's not that these people were out there slinging iPhones. They were just out there using it, but because they had one before everybody else, people wanted to know what it was. They got to play around with it, and then boom, they did it right to the store and go buy an iPhone. And then as that went viral, they just exploded. But it was really because of the people that got one before the rest of the world did that drove that entire situation. So unlike Apple, all right, we are financially incentivizing you to go thread this to the world, because you can't go online and buy one. You can't go to a storefront and buy one. It has to be through an individual. And I'll share a couple of scenarios with you, but just understand that the early adopters, the ones that get it, that are FLYE qualified before everybody else, are going to have a much bigger edge than everybody else, because they've actually got one to go show off and demo. I mean, it's one thing to tell people about this cool iPhone that's coming out. It's a whole nother deal to let them play around with it. Same thing with this. It's cool to show them on a screen, a whole different deal to let them see the green light blink up and then freak out because they see the first smart card in the world. So just understand, this is going to be a big thing. And if you want to do the business, it's $100 to get set up, $20 a month, and it's your business. It's $10.99. You get all the write-offs that come along with that. There's no risk. It's $100. I mean, you know, I think we can all agree we spent $100 on something way dumber than this before. So if you did it and it didn't work, not the end of the world, but it does have a lot of upside potential, and you don't have to run the company. I mean, that's what's great. It's all mostly online. It's virtual. It moves quickly. So for those of you with busy schedules, the membership as it is simple enough to duplicate and get rolling. But when this comes out, it's going to make that even more effective, just because of the viral hook that's attached to it. And so the couple of scenarios that I want to walk you through really quickly is, here's how it's going to work. So we get paid on memberships. That's a given right now. Not going to get into all the comp plan details, but this card, all right, here's what's going to happen. Let's say you have got a FLYE card, and this is when it's live, all right? You've got a FLYE card, and you're at a Starbucks, and the little green light starts flashing up, right? And the person behind you says, that's cool. What is that? So you explain it to them, and then they say, well, how do I get one? So when it's live, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to send them an invite through the app, all right? And that threads it to you. That's how it all gets threaded, all right? And they're going to download that app on their phone. They're going to buy their FLYE card. So when that person buys their FLYE card, you're going to get paid, all right? Whatever that direct commission is, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but you're going to get the direct commission that's attached to it. So that's phase one. That person buys a FLYE card. Now, where it gets fun, just like people that got iPhones first, they weren't out there trying to sell iPhones. They were just out there using it and showing it off. So this person's going to go out and say he takes his buddies, 4 of his buddies out to lunch. And his 4 buddies pay for their tab with plastic. He pulls his cool FLYE card out. They see it all, you know, flashing up and just doing all this crazy stuff. And they're like, that's cool. What is that? And he was just using it. And so he explains it. And 2 of them say, how do I get one? So he sends them an invite through the app. And the 2 guys go download their app and they buy their FLYE card. Guess who gets paid? you get paid. All right. That's all threaded right back to you. The other people, they're not in the business. They don't know there's a travel club. All they are is cool FLYE card holders, but that all threads back to you. So when those two guys go show their spouses and their spouses want one, they download the app, they buy the card, you get both of those direct commissions. And so however far this ripple goes, all right, and you don't have anything to do with that. You're not talking to those people. You don't know most of them, and you certainly aren't there selling it to them, but you're getting all of these commissions just because it's all threaded through, through the app, just like everything else is. Like Facebook, you can invite people through an app. Uber, you can invite people through an app and get a free ride, but it's all threaded through the app. And so that's how big this thing is going to be, especially, because of just the buzz factor of it being new right now. But even more so, what's also going to happen is, let's say that person shows his wife, she shows her girlfriend, she shows her husband, and then 10 levels away from you, one of those guys is out there using his FLYE card, and FLYE card holders are going to get points. All right. They aren't going to be members yet. They're not going to be business partners. They are going to get DreamTrip points though. And it's going to show up on their app. So when they're out there using their FLYE card, they're going to see these DreamTrip points pop up on their app, and they're going to wonder, what are these DreamTrip points? And they're going to want to learn what they are. And what's going to happen is we're going to be able to show them the travel side of stuff. We're going to be able to show them, all right, here's a retail vacation for $1,000. And we're going to let people use points towards retail vacations. And so let's say it was $1,000, they can use 200 points towards it, go for $800. That's a killer deal on a great member benefit just for being a FLYE card member. Now we can also show them a dream trip. That's $500, the same trip, but $500. And they can also use 200 points towards it. So they can go for 300 instead of 800. And so what do you think they're going to decide to do? They're going to upgrade, become a member, so they can go for $300 instead of $800. And when that person 10 levels away upgrades and becomes a member, when that person 10 levels away that has an iPhone decides they want to get a computer, so they buy a Mac, that all threads right back to you, and you get paid again on it. So we're going to get people on both doors here, and so it's going to be very exciting how this whole thing rolls out. And then even more importantly, you're also a part of the bigger team. So just understand that there is some urgency, and we're operating on a window right now that the person that enrolled you or that's showing you tonight, they're building their business. And so when you get started, everybody goes in chronologically. So when you get plugged in, the next person that they enroll is very likely to go in your line of business as well, and so forth and so forth. And so you do want to say yes before other people say yes. It's just a beautiful part of our pay plan, but you're also going to override all the memberships and cards that get sold throughout the entire team. So that's obviously going to be a much bigger multiplier on your income. So we'll get paid on memberships, cards, and the whole nine. And we'll teach you guys how to do this. It's a very simple system. We got awesome online training. We got just a great plug and play deal where we can teach you exactly what to do step by step. You just got to follow the game plan. If you guys care to know, we have our big convention in Dallas here on April 7th through the 9th at this little place called AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. And so if you guys want to come really do your research and see what's going on, I'd encourage you guys to come to Dallas. But our training events are just freaking rock solid. And it's a business. You get out of it what you put into it, all right? This is not a get-rich-quick deal. It's not a lottery ticket. Just understand, if you want to make a little bit of money, put in a little bit of effort. If you want to make a lot of money, got to put in a lot of effort. If you plan on making no money and putting in no effort, just be a customer. You don't have to do the business, but just decide what you want to do, and then we'll help navigate you from there. And here's our income disclosure statement. So make sure you guys get one of these before we hop off. It's on the left. It's going to show you the different income levels, and I'll highlight two of them just so you guys know. Income levels are determined by how big your customer base is of members. All right, so the bigger your membership base gets, the people you would enrolled, people they enrolled, whatever that ripples to, determines your rank. On the right side, the average yearly incomes over there are the average of what each one of those ranks makes. So that third one down, qualified, a cool thing happens when you get qualified. That's what happens when you get 4 members started personally. When you personally enroll 4 members, all right, your membership fees go away for one, so you can get your membership fees gone. And the average person that got qualified last year made an extra almost $1,300. That's pretty cool, considering they probably, they just tripled or quadrupled the money that they put in. That's pretty awesome. I mean, if you look at any other business owners that start a traditional business, they usually don't, triple, quadruple their income, within the first year, much less, in the first 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's just traditional business. So over here, you can do it rather quickly if you just get to work. The next one down, senior rep, that's when you start earning residual income. So you get paid several ways up to that point. But when you have about 60 customers in your organization, so you shared it with 10 or 15 and it grew to 60, now you start getting a residual check off of the monthly dues. So you get an automatic check that comes in every month like clockwork. And that's really why I got in, because I wanted to go build something that could just pay me over and over again, regardless of my effort. And that's what's happened. I've been real blessed. I mean, we got plugged in, when I was 19, I spent all the money I had to get into this thing. And I just figured, you know what, if I do it and it doesn't work, $400. To do the membership and the business at the time, it was $400. It's not going to kill me, but if I don't do it and it does work, that's going to bug me for a long time. So I just didn't want to be the the gee, I wish I would have person. I want to be the gee, I'm glad I did guy. And we plugged in part-time, made my money back pretty quickly, but we really did it 2 nights a week, showing people the presentation. And then as the team got bigger, put some more time in. And then about 4 years ago, we hit the top level of the company. So our life's changed dramatically. I mean, we've been on 30 dream trips and traveled the world, had a blast. And then financially, our income has exceeded $500,000 now. And most of that is residual. And I'm only sharing that with you to say, you know, I saw it in my dorm room when I was 19. And I was just dumb enough to think it would work, you know, not ask too many questions, to just kind of jump in head first and just see what happens. And it ended up working out in a big, big way. So, so just quick recap. If you just want to be a customer, just decide which membership you want to get started with. There's basic, gold, platinum. Everything that you spend, you're getting back in points to use towards trips. You refer 4 other members. Monthly fees on the membership go away. And then if you want to do the business, $100 and then $20 a month. So if you do both, just tack on $100 to whatever level you came in at, and then $20 a month, and then we will get you rocking and rolling from there. And then the very last thing again is we just want to get as many people FLYE qualified as possible, so that you can have as many people in your team that have cards on the ground when this goes live, because you guys can already have a lot of momentum going into that. So you just got to get started with the membership, refer a member, congrats, you're FLYE qualified, and then in the springtime you're going to get first dibs before everybody else. And we're going to go clean up shop after that. So I'm excited for you guys. So all you got to do as soon as we wrap up, I know we're kind of doing a little transition after this, but just let the person know, whoever brought you on, if you want to do the membership and do the business, or if you just want to do the membership. Either way is cool with us, but we'd love to have you no matter what. And hopefully we'll see you at an event or on one of the beaches of the world.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot, Zoe. Appreciate that, bro.
You bet, bud.
Yep. So we've got a few questions. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take the next 10 to 15 minutes. And again, if you're like, I got to call my friend back right now and get started, like, don't let this stop you. Get started, get locked in, get, you know, that timing locked in. But let's take the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes. If you have any questions, go ahead and click on the Q&A. I disabled the chat feature. We want all those to go through the Q&A. So I know we've got a couple people that have already posted some questions, but we're just going to take as many as we can in order, and then until the time's out. So let me go ahead and pull my screen back over here, and let's do this. All right. So the first question, Zoe, is, so do you have to have the FLYE card to actually earn the points?
Good question. No, so you don't have to have the card to get points. You can still get points just as a member benefit. The FLYE card will just make it easier when you're at the restaurant and soon to be any other lifestyle business. Like we've got spas, nail salons, hair salons, helicopter companies. So it's expanding. It'll just make it easier and cooler to get your points, but you'll still be able to do it the traditional way for sure.
Okay, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So that one is done. Next question from Lisa. So until you get the card, you don't get any points. It sounds very similar question. You know, so yeah, people can just earn the points. We just kind of hit that one. So let's just check that box right there. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to go live down to California. Can you please share the cost of the business for those that are under the age of 25? I have a few guests that are like 21, 20 years old, and they're interested in doing both the business and becoming a customer. Cool.
Yeah, so if you are 18 to 25, the business itself is discounted to, I believe it's $30 and like $8 a month, something like that. But it's significantly less money. And so if you were to do everything, basically, I don't want to confuse you guys. The business is going to be cheaper if you're 18 to 25, so that's going to be a good leg up. And if you're not 18 to 25, I paid $400 when I got in, so I don't want to hear it either way. You're still paying less money than we did.
That's funny. Okay, cool. So yes, it's definitely discounted. Awesome. Thank you. Next question from, let's see, Amani. Can you earn points by shopping at certain stores?
Yeah, so you'll earn, so there's 2 kinds of points, and we just kind of brush the surface on all of it to not confuse people, but there's DreamTrip points, and then there's Roybal bucks. All right, so DreamTrip points you can use specific towards DreamTrips. Now you earn DreamTrip points by signing up because you get all your money back in points. When you refer other people, you also earn points as a member benefit. When you're at any dining or, you know, any of the businesses in our DreamTrips local program on your app, you earn DreamTrip points on those. And then on the, so that you can use specific towards DreamTrips. Now the Roybal bucks are pretty cool because you can earn those by shopping online at the mall. So we got that big store with about 3,000 big box stores on it, and it'll show you the percentages that you get back. But the percentages that you get back on those is Robia bucks. And Robia bucks you can use towards any travel on the website. So you can use it towards DreamTrips. You can use it towards, you know, flights, hotels, any of that stuff. And it's a universal dollar, if you will. And so really you can, you know, if you're using your membership enough, you can get to a point where you're literally earning all of your travel just by being a good member, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thanks, Zoe. Next question from Dwayne. So do you earn points on every single transaction or just the ones with the partnering companies?
So the points will just come when you're at any of our DreamTrips local partners is what they're called. And there's several thousand of them right now, and it expands all the time. And so all your regular cards will still work as they normally do. So like I have my Southwest loyalty card, so I still get all those flyer miles. But if you're at any of the partnered places with us, you're also going to get DreamTrip points on top of it. But it'll be within our network.
Yeah, cool. Great question. Thanks, Dwayne. So we just have a few more questions here as of right now. We've got a few minutes left. But let me give you a tip. Yes, if it has to do with the FLYE card, ask it tonight, okay? Because Zoe is one of the most person that's just dived in and just so like entrenched with the FLYE card, the transactions, part of the presentation. Like this is that night when don't be shy. You can ask a question as anonymous if you really want to. That's fine too. I'll make sure to figure out who you are and put you on blast and put your picture out on video, but no, I won't do that. Just ask the questions, guys. And then I don't know if you guys caught this, but I want to make sure you heard this. Zoe said something to the effect of, I was just dumb enough to think it might work when I was 19 years old. And now they make over $500,000, not points, not FLYE points, or not like money. Okay, so from 19 years old thinking, oh my God, like whatever, if this works, great. And here they are, 8+ years later, 9 years, making over $500,000. And so I have a question on that later, but just think about some of those questions. Here's another one, Zoe. This one's from Donna. Why are you so flipping good at helping people have more fun, freedom, and fulfillment in their lives?
I was trying to figure out what the F3 stood for, or the 3F.
That's it.
We plug into the trainings. I mean, if you come around it and you just engage and you're full throttle on it, I mean, it's just kind of a natural byproduct. And I had plenty of people to help my naive, not intelligent self when I got in. So we all pay it forward.
Got some good mentors, right? Okay, so question from Ryan. What is the cost? What will the cost be to just have the card? And then if you sell the card, will the new customer have to become a member, or can they just buy the card as a standalone item?
Yeah, so the card is still to be determined on what the price will be. My guess, and don't quote me on this because this could change, is it'll probably retail around a few $100s. And so that's what I'm thinking it'll be. And again, that could change, so don't quote me on that, but that's what I keep hearing. And then when they buy one, they can just buy a card. So you're going to have lots of people that just buy cards and they're out there showing it off, and you're threaded to that whole thing. So if you sell a card to your buddy and then he shows his wife and she ends up buying one and then their kids want one, you're going to get all those commissions attached to that because you're the only rep in the situation. But then down the chain, if one of them decides to upgrade and become a member because they want to use the points that they're earning, you're going to get paid on that again. So it'll be cool how it's all threaded together. But no, people can just be a member. They can just be a FLYE card user. They can do both, really whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so next we're going to go out to Sean down in University Place, Washington. Do DreamTrips U and DreamTrips Standard count towards the FLYE card promotion? So the standard membership.
As far as I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would call just to double check, call customer service on Monday or tomorrow rather. But I would be confident in saying yes, I believe that is the case. Yeah.
That's a good question, Sean. I know for sure if you were for a gold customer or a platinum, I know for sure that counts to get you into the hat, so to speak, to get that next wave. But check on the basics for sure. Okay, next one from Michelle. After purchasing the FLYE card, are there going to be any yearly fees associated with the card that you're aware of?
Don't think they've decided that yet. It could be yes, could be no. If they do, it's not going to be anything crazy big. But I don't know.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we got that one. Next, we'll just kind of rattle through these last few here. If you are a member and don't get anyone enrolled by April 7th, is it still possible to get a card?
Yeah, so you'll be able to get one. It's just a matter of when you'll be able to get one. So the people that get qualified, FLYE qualified, they're going to do it in waves. And so the people that get FLYE qualified, those certain batches, because they've been doing it for a couple of months now, and this is the last month that they're doing it, they're going to be able to get theirs first. And then after that, they will probably do just a general membership launch where the people that are members in the company can get one. And then after that, we'll do our live public one where we can actually go sell them now.
Got it. Oh, perfect. Here we go. We got some boss questions coming in here. All right. So this is from Dwayne. If I sign up and then I get my wife to sign up, do we pay 2 monthly fees in the same household? That's the first question. And then the second one is, would she have to get 4 customers to make her fees go away as well if they both join?
Yeah. So I'll answer 2 parts of this. So if you enroll and she enrolls, like you guys both don't have to enroll for one. So one membership covers the household. So that's the only way you need to do it. Now, for whatever reason, she wants to get her own membership. She will at that point have to, you guys will both be paying the monthly fees, and then you'll have to get 4 customers personally sponsored through each one of those memberships. So 8 in total to get both of the fees waived. So again, you only need one, but if you wanted to do both, it would just be a second person, so the same rules are going to apply. But when the card comes out, to my knowledge, you'll be able to have multiple cards per membership. So you won't have to have one membership per card. You'll be able to have multiple linked up to the same account. But for this promotion right now, only 1 card per membership for the FLYE qualifiers. Now, when it's live, that will all change.
Cool, awesome. How hard is it to add or remove your personal cards to the actual FLYE card?
Mine is super easy. I think my puck is in my card. It comes with a little hockey puck looking thing, and it's a charging port. So you hold the puck and you just plug the card in and it charges it. And then when you have the card plugged in, on the other side of it, there's a swiper. And so you swipe your card and then it loads it, because it all syncs up to your app via Bluetooth. And so it just loads it on there. So it's super easy to get it on. And then if you want to take it off, you just get on the app and just delete it. And then it'll all communicate via Bluetooth on this and then reflect on the card as well. So yeah, all super easy.
Awesome. Cool, man. Any idea when the first release, or actually it would be the second release, I think this is her question. So the people that are qualified for this FLYE first, when are they actually going to see this next wave? Do you have an idea on the timing of that, Zoe?
They said springtime at the last event. So spring covers 3 months. If it happens at United, I wouldn't be shocked at our big event, but I don't want to make any promises on that one. But in the springtime is when they said it was. So that's what I would expect.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's check that one off the box. All right, here we go. Kimberly Anderson. If you don't know her, you will at some point, Zoe, I promise you. Let's see. When you first started, what did you fear the most, being that you were only 19 years old? We are all 18 over here at the Andersons' house, and we fear people won't take us seriously because we are so young. Thanks, Kelton, Jasmine, and Omar.
Good question. And I think I would just frame that differently in your mind, because being young is a powerful, advantageous position to be in, because probably very well connected, especially in today's world with social media and just everybody growing up with Snapchat and Facebook and stuff. So really a force to be reckoned with, being a younger person. So when I got started, I really got good at using my resources, because I was brand new. I hadn't had any success yet, but I did get to go to the trainings and meet people like Buddy and meet some of my mentors that I could just use as resources. So when I got to the point where I was showing, some of my friends' parents, or showing just business owners in general, instead of them looking through the lens of, oh, it's this 19-year-old kid showing it to them, I would let them know, like, hey, I don't want you to look at this like it's your son's friend that grew up with and you saw the dumb stuff I did my whole life. I don't want you to look at it through that lens. I want you to look at this like it's the most successful friend you have that's showing it to you, and how serious you need to take it, because this thing's a big deal, and I'm going to crush this thing. I know a ton of people, and I'm just letting you know that you're going to see this before everybody else, and so I'm just kind of giving you first dibs on it. But understand, I'm not waiting on anybody either. And as soon as we're done with the video or the presentation, actually, just so you can see from somebody or hear from somebody that's not me, I've got my friend Buddy who, who I'm going to get on the horn and who is really successful in real estate, built several businesses. Just, I'm going to edify the heck out of this person and make Buddy the deal. And then as soon as it's over, I can connect to them so that they can just have some more common ground to relate to, and they can hear from a fresh voice that's just not me, and they can see other people are actually doing it. And I did that a lot in the beginning, and I got a lot of my friends' parents in, some of my business owner friends in, and then once I started making money, then I was having my own credibility, so then I wasn't really, I still used my resources, but I didn't really need it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, I hope you guys all caught that. That was money right there. TJ says, Zoe, can I just be a rep or do I have to do both?
You can do the membership, you can do the rep individually, you can do both. Most people do both, or most people will do just the membership. You can absolutely do just the rep if you want to. Compliance wise, you can for sure. Yeah, but in my experience, yeah, in my experience, if you are just a rep, that tends to duplicate. And in the business, we only get paid when we sell a membership. And so if you're just a rep, what happens when you show your friends, a lot of them are going to ask you what you did because they're your buddy. And when you tell them that you just got the rep, they're going to just get the rep, and you're going to have a bunch of people sign up, but ain't nobody making any money because there's no product being sold. And so if you can, I would get something just so that you can have that a part of your story. Like me, I didn't go on my first trip for like 2 years, but I had the membership. And, my first week I showed 10 friends. All of them asked me what I did. And I said, well, I put it on my credit card because I'm broke. And I went all in. I did the membership and the business. And that's what they all did. And I got 6 out of 10 in my first week, and I made $500. But it was really just because of that story. But again, you can just be a rep, worst case scenario, but I would encourage you to do something if you can.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Zoe. Last 2 questions, and we're going to go ahead and shut down the Q&A. There we go. Okay. Last 2 questions. I knew this one was coming at some point. Just had a feeling. Okay. Zoe, what do I say when I'm sharing this with my friend and they say, this is a pyramid scam? This is what I've heard a couple times when I've approached people.
Yeah. I was ignorant at one point in my life as well. So, you can't, a lot of it, and it says I've gotten that when I approach people. So there's 2 parts of this. If you are getting that when you're inviting somebody, you're saying way too much. And so I would get the invite more dialed in, where you're not telling them it's business, opportunity, travel, any of that stuff. Because if you try to say too much when you invite people, then you start getting weird objections, or they just start trying to prejudge it and, trying to piece together it themselves. And then they don't want to see it, when if they saw it, they'd probably get excited about it, but they've thought of whatever that means to them, which is usually has nothing to do with what we're doing. So if you're getting that in the invite, just dial in the invite a little more, and you won't get that anymore. Now, if after you're showing it to them and you get that, really depends on how they say it. If they say it in a way where they are attacking me and they're making it sound like I'm a part of something illegal, because the pyramids are illegal. That's literally what they're saying, is you're part of something illegal and you're dumb enough and bad enough to want to get me involved as well. So if they say it in a really negative way, I'm not even going to try to combat that, because I've just learned that if you argue with dumb people, they just drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. And so I'm not even going to play that game. And it's just it just doesn't work, And so, so if they say it in a negative way, I'm just like, cool, I appreciate it. And I'm not ever mean about it. I'm just like, cool, obviously this is not for you. I appreciate you taking some time. No worries. If you change your mind down the road, let me know. And then I'll at least, I'm not going to burn the bridge, but I'm not going to try to overcome that, because then there's just way too much work involved. Now, if they say it in a way where it's like, is this one of those pyramid things? Or, they generally just want to understand, then I'll walk them through it, and I'll just ask them, well, what do you think a pyramid is? And they'll usually say something like, oh, well, the people at the top make all the money and the people at the bottom get screwed. And it's just like, now you can really start educating on, okay, well, where do you work? And, how does your job work? And that's how a lot of jobs and corporations work, where literally the people at the top make the most money and the lowest level employees are not making a lot and they're working the most. And it's all set up. It looks exactly the same way. It all looks like a pyramid. It's just, how you want to skin it. And so I'll educate them and just let them know pyramids are illegal. People go to jail for that. We're 11 years old. We're almost $1 billion company. We're the biggest private travel club in the world. The government's slow, but they're not that slow. Like if we were not legit, we would have been gone a long time ago. So no worries on that. But here, but this is just network marketing. And then I'll just, let them know we only get paid when we sell memberships. We don't get paid to recruit people, and we build a sales team around the membership. So we override what, exactly what the team does. But that's kind of how I'll combat it. And if they want to hop on after that, cool. And if not, no worries. But a lot of it's just how they frame it.
Okay, cool. Let's see. This is from Dwayne. Can we upgrade our membership? If I start at basic, can I upgrade to platinum at a later date? And how?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You can. Yep. You can upgrade whenever. You will just pay the difference, and then whatever monthly is attached to it, you'll be on that one. Now, if you have a good time to upgrade is when you get your fees waived on your membership. So go get your 4, and then once you get your fees waived, if you upgrade from silver or basic to gold, your fees would still be waived, and so you don't have the additional or any monthly fee. Platinum's a little different. Where platinum, in order to get those fees waived, you either have to have 4 platinum members you've enrolled, or some combination that equals 4 platinum. So like 8 gold, or 4 gold and a couple of platinum, whatever. And so whenever you have enough to get your fees waived, that's usually a good time to upgrade. But you can upgrade whenever, for sure.
Okay, cool. Last question, and this is more for me. So let's just say we got a lot of people getting started on the webinar tonight. I'm getting some text messages right now. So what would you tell the brand new person, because we got new people enrolling new people, right? It's just how fast this is going at this point. What would you say as far as what's the most important thing tonight? Let's say they got about 30 minutes, they're getting together, they joined. What would you be saying to your new person in the next 30 minutes of time to get them off to a fast start if they wanted to make money?
Yep. If we're getting started right now, what we're going to do is we're going to set up your launch event. And your launch event is just a travel party. It's a presentation. It's all the same thing. We're going to do a launch event, a meeting at your house where you invite your friends and your family over in the next 5 to 7 days. All right. And we're going to launch off your business. And that's where we're going to show a handful of people. You can get 5 to 10 people out there. So we're going to get that on the books now, because that's what we're going to ultimately build for. And then I'm going to run you through your easy ones list. And so I'm going to say, everybody has easy ones. Okay. And the easy ones are going to be the ones that do it just because you're doing it. And so let's rattle them off. The people that if you're stranded in the middle of nowhere and your tires blow and you got 1% battery on your phone, who would you call? And so we're going to get a list of 4, 5, 6 people that are your quote unquote easy ones. And then what we're going to do, if we have time tonight, we're going to call them up and just say, hey, are you home? And if they're home, we're going to go pop by. So we're just going to go show them the presentation. If they're not home, when will you be home tomorrow? We're going to go try to score in 24 is what we call it. So we got your launch event, we got your easy list, and then in the next 24 hours, we want to go put it in front of somebody so that we can get you a win and score in 24. So that way, when your launch event happens, you already have a good story, and you also can have some other people inviting for it, and we can make a rockin' first presentation for you.
Awesome. Cool. And my last question, what position did you play in baseball?
I was a catcher.
Running the show, baby. Why did you play
That's
catcher?
right.
Why did you like catcher? How did you end up getting that position?
Initially because I didn't like to run, so I didn't have to run as much playing catcher. But then just being in the action, every play was always the best for sure. But yeah, initially it was just out of laziness.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, man. Now you're running in a different way. So
yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out. We got some young Rat Packers down in Puyallup, Cash and Bryce. See you guys out there. So with that, Zoe, I'll just sign off, man. I'll let you say last little 2 words here, and we'll close this puppy down.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for your leadership, bud. Appreciate it. I know everybody's lucky to be working with you, no doubt about it. So if you guys get to work with Buddy, don't take that for granted. I mean, you don't get people like that in your back pocket, very often. So when you do, you want to use it to its fullest potential. And then last thing would be we have our convention in April, the 7th through the 9th. We got people flying in from all over the world. We're going to be at AT&T Stadium, which is going to be a bucket list by itself for a lot of people. But right now, you can probably find discounted tickets for $70 from people that already have their tickets. So I would be badgering everybody on your team to get a discounted one and do whatever you got to do to get there in that stadium, because we're going to have 25, 30,000 people there, and it is going to be just freaking electric. You're going to come out of there ready to run through a brick wall, and then you're really going to know what you got your hands on. So hopefully we'll see you guys there.
Right on. Sounds good, guys. We'll see you soon. See you at United. Zoe, thanks, man. Love you. We'll be in touch, brother. All right.
Everybody.
See you guys. Peace.